Hello, my name is Scott Laseter. Today I'm out on Georgia's Pine Mountain terrain in the middle of a montane longleaf restoration area where 4 weeks ago I set up a test plot for direct seeding American chestnuts using seed crown shelters. The montane longleaf habitat is interesting for a number of reasons, including the wide variety of tree types. We know from a variety of historical sources that longleaf pine was the dominant tree, but there were also many different hardwood species as well, one of which was the American chestnut. The American chestnut was of course wiped out in the wild in its range that ran all the way from Georgia to Maine by a blight introduced into New York City Central Park in the early 1900s. So I'm now in plot 1. This is a location where we planted 20 nuts, 10 of them underneath seed crown shelters and 10 of them unsheltered. This is a location where about 8 months ago I sprayed imazapyr to kill some invasive Chinese tallow, and of course that knocked back the rest of the hardwoods. About 14 months ago the area was subjected to a prescribed fire, so those are the only 2 treatments. Coming in and looking more closely, you can see here's a unsheltered chestnut that's come out. It looks like it maybe has seen some browse damage. Here's a sheltered chestnut that's looking undamaged, but there's evidence of deer scat, and even some of the sheltered ones that have sprouted look like that they may have been nipped off the tip by the deer. Here's an unsheltered chestnut. It's really hard to see. There's a nice sheltered one. I'm continuing through plot 1. Despite the deer, the tally for this plot is a total of 9 emerged survivors, 6 in the sheltered cohort and 3 in the unsheltered cohort. The math is easy, so that's 60% for the ones under shelter, 30% for the ones that are unsheltered, and 45% for the plot as a whole. That's definitely not terrible. So in an effort to try to knock back the deer browse, I'm going to try a informal deadfall approach to a deer shelter. So I've just grabbed deadfall material and created a sort of cage around this chestnut. It's a vigorous sprout. Again, this is 4 weeks old, but it's already been browsed off the top, you can see, and is sprouting new leaders. So we'll see how that does. So I've now gotten more aggressive in building these natural cages. Turns out that dead black oak is a very formidable barrier, it seems. We'll see how these do. So here in plot 2, similar treatment. We used imazapyr about 8 months ago to kill back some Chinese tallow, and then there was a prescribed fire about 14 months ago, and no other treatment. Plot 1 has a east and northeast slope aspect. Plot 2, on the other hand, has a southerly aspect, and so it's much more direct sun, much droughtier conditions. I'll turn around here and take a look. We've only found 2 survivors here, both of them in the sheltered cohort. These survivors are not nearly as far along as the ones in plot 1. Again, I'm guessing that that's because of the drier conditions here on this southern slope, but that's just a guess right now. Here's another sprout. It's really hard to see right there, the tip of the grass. Just barely coming up. So I'm now at plot 3, which is a different setting. This is a former loblolly plantation. It's been clear cut in this area and then recently mulched. So we would expect this to be highly likely to have Phytophthora in the soil, but we're going to give the direct seeding a try anyway. We'll go take a look at how these are doing. Plot 3 was the last of the 3 installed, and since I started with 50 chestnuts, I was running out of viable nuts and enthusiasm for the scientific method. So this plot only received a total of 9 sheltered and 4 unsheltered nuts. No unsheltered nuts sprouted, but 5 of 9 sheltered nuts are going strong, which is better than 50%. And a 6th had sprouted, but died suddenly, maybe from Phytophthora. 6 out of 9 sprouting in the sheltered cohort is pretty good. Combining the results of all 3 plots, we found 13 out of 28 chestnuts planted underneath shelters that had both sprouted and survived to the 1-month mark. That's almost a 50% success rate. Only 3 out of 22 in the unsheltered group made it to the 1-month mark, or less than 20%. I'm no statistician, but I would say that it looks like that planting chestnuts underneath shelters makes a big difference. More importantly, at almost a 50% success rate for chestnuts planted under seed crowns in a forest setting, I'd say the method is at least worth further study. We'll come back again sometime before the leaves are off the trees in the fall to take one more look at the plots.